The woman who sued the reality TV star is claiming that he owes her money. In addition to the $700,000 in damages, she wants him to pay legal fees and other expenses related to the case. She claims that Nicolas Cage did not pay her enough money for her to go on tour with him as a dancer during his 90s acting career. She also says that he paid her less than half of what she was owed after they broke up in 2002. The woman says that she only received $50,000 when Nicolas Cage decided not to go on tour with him after their breakup. She also claims that he did not pay her anything while they were together. However, he did give her gifts and other things like jewelry or clothes which were worth thousands of dollars at the time. Only half a month after the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the vocalist was hit with a $55 million new lawsuit. The Bravo star is presently being sued by Nicolas Cage ex Christina Fulton for more than $700,000. As indicated by page 6, Christina is suing Erika alongside two previous lawyers who worked at her alienated spouse's law office, Girardi and Keyes Tom Girardi. In the claim, recorded July 15th, the 55-year-old entertainer charges that Tom, whom Erika she petitioned for legal separation beginning around 2020, and two of his previous partners, Samantha Goldother, John Kelly Courtney, embezzled settlement reserves originating from a 2016 auto collision during which the mother of one endured serious wounds. After the mishap, Christina recruited the Girardi and Keyes law office. Eventually, the case brought about a private settlement understanding documented on March 18, 2019 in how much $924,300. The claim expresses that on July 14, 2022, Christina had the option to gain where her repayment cash went from newfound monetary records. Documents supposedly show that Christina's repayment register was kept with a Girardi and Keyes ledger, without her assent. This was a finished fraud as Fulton never embraced this check and positively never consented to have it kept, the claim charges. This arranged check was, as a matter of fact, a falsification and an untruth. The check was never held in trust, however, was rather spent. It is past surprising and pale that the organization disguised the appearance of the check and didn't acquire Ms. Fulton's support as legally necessary. That's what Christina claims. Until now, she has just gotten a sum of $190,000 of her repayment assets between April 2019 and September 2020, as her lawyers charged that Tom's example was to mislead his clients into sitting tight for the cash through little installments. Notwithstanding a $5,000 retainer she got, Christina is currently suing for the excess total of $744,300. Concerning why Erika is named in the claim, Christina's lawyers say this is on the grounds that the repayment cash was purportedly guided to Erika through the genuine Housewives of Beverly Hills star, suspended company Global LLC, and later moved to Pretty Mess Incorporation. Like the cases set in different expectations recorded against Erika, Christina accepts that Tom and Erika utilized the assets as their own resources to pay for their luxurious way of life. The assets were treated as local area property, the court reports state, alluding to the now scandalous measure of $25 million which it probably stored at EJ Global over a time of years. Lawyer's wife flows private messages from Erika Jayne. Erika utilized the cash to pay for her costs, the suit asserts. For somewhere around 12 years, every last bit of her costs were paid for by Girardi Keyes as she created them. Nobody pulled out cash from the firm more than Erika Girardi. Attorney Ronald Richards, who as of late uncovered his arrangements to purchase Erika and Tom's house for $6.9 million, affirms that he is one of the legal advisors addressing Christina. Ronald addressed the power source, expressing that his client, who shares a 31-year-old child, Weston Coppola with entertainer Nicolas Cage, as many individuals in Hollywood confided in Tom and Erika with their lawful issues. Ronald adds, Erika profited from these assets, which he used to give content to the Housewives show that he got compensated for. She straightforwardly got installments from the suppliers of these assets and by profited from the misappropriation of our client's settlement. Erika's attorney Evan C. Borges, in any case, he protects her, demanding that the RHOBH star is a non-legal counselor who played no part in the activities of the now handicapped Tom or those engaged with his law office. She adds that Erika was sure, hopefully not by mistake, that she was hitched to a very rich legal counselor with a monetarily effective law office. Erika Jayne discloses she owes over $2 million in taxes, admits she doesn't have the money to pay. Page 6 said that the record stated, "This was a full bald fake as Fulton never endorsed this check and certainly never agreed to have it deposited. This negotiated check was a fake and a falsehood in actuality." The lawsuit continued by claiming that the actor for Snake Eyes only received $190,000 from the law firm between April 2019 and September 2020 out of the approximately $900,000 that was owed to her. Additionally, she had previously received a modest $500,000 advance. Fulton and her attorneys think Girardi intended to dupe his clients into waiting for money by dribbling modest payments with this action. Erika Jayne denies aiding and abetting estranged husband from Tom Girardi's embezzlement, wants case thrown out. The court documents added, the check was never held in trust but rather expended. The firm's decision to hide the check's arrival and fail to seek Ms. Fulton's endorsement as required by law is beyond startling and the pale. Jayne is mentioned in the case because it alleges that Erika's company, EJ Global LLC, used settlement money that was allegedly diverted to Erika. Fulton is asking for the remaining sum of her settlement from 2016, which comes to almost $700,000. Erika Jayne's legal woes continue to season 12 of RHOBH. The reality TV personality hasn't responded to Fulton's lawsuit or accusations in the media yet. After 20 years of marriage, the roller coaster singer filed for divorce from the Colorado native, which initially made headlines in November 2020. 1 month later, the estranged couple were implicated in a fraud action where they were charged with stealing $2 million from plane crash victims' settlement money. Throughout the legal dispute, Erika continues to document RHOBH and has maintained her innocence. Later in January, complaints against her in Illinois were withdrawn, but other legal disputes are still pending. Later, Adelson PC claimed that the veteran of Broadway had particular knowledge of Tom's alleged wrongdoings in a new complaint filed earlier this month. Erika was one of several defendants named in the documents obtained by US who were charged with racketeering, conspiracy to commit racketeering, fraud, aiding and abetting concealment of stolen property, and other offenses. Adelson charged Erika in April with exploiting her public profile to prolong the legal proceedings. In a statement at the time, Jay Adelson from Adelson PC said, "We believe we will be able to prove to a jury that Tom's organization was a long-running criminal enterprise spanning over a decade and taking over $100 million, much of which went into sustaining Tom and Erika's lavish lifestyle." The Truth Star has persistently denied having any information on Tom's supposed bad behaviors. "I'm upfront and the essence of this rather than the legal counselors that worked at the firm and eluding lawyers and, regulation financing individuals, rather they highlight me." Erika recently told us in May about managing the court procedures. "For my psychological wellness, it's been hard. Presumably, in any case, once more, I was unable to lose and I was about to battle it out all ways imaginable regardless am." After going with new boyfriend. According to court documents obtained by TMZ, Erika Jayne and Nicolas Cage had an exclusive romantic relationship for 3 years before they split in 2016. But according to her former girlfriend, Nicolas Cage had not disclosed his true income and assets. The two sides reached an agreement in which Erika would get $700,000 in exchange for keeping their relationship private. But then she left him at the altar and went public with her new boyfriend, who she later dumped too. So now it looks like Nicolas Cage is going after his ex-girlfriend for breach of contract. Erika Jayne has already lost one of her best friends and bodyguards after she was arrested for domestic violence. Now she's going to have to deal with the fallout from her alleged assault on Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is one of the most recognizable actors in Hollywood and has been in many blockbuster films over the years. If his ex-girlfriend can't prove that Erika Jayne assaulted him, then it will be hard for Erika to get work as an actress again. This must have made you rushed with thoughts. Do let us know in the comments section. Also, for more such content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications too.